The one thing that impressed and amazed me the most during Joe Dispenza's progressive retreat was his level of energy, vitality, and his aliveness. Let me tell you more about it. Hello guys, welcome back to this channel. My name is Oksana. I'm a body therapist, osteopath, and self-mastery mentor. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you my experience in Dr. Joe Dispenza's retreat that happened in Basel, February this year. It was a 3-day progressive retreat, and if you are the person who is maybe contemplating should you join his conferences and or retreats, then this video is for you. The thing that impressed me the most during the retreat was his ability to hold energy and focus, meaning everyone's attention, in the room. And when I say in the room, I mean we were more than 8,000 people. It was a big hall. So it's not 10 people, it's not 40, more than 8,000 people. And the way he spoke, the way he moved, the clarity of his voice, like there was not a moment when his voice started to break down. And it takes a lot of energy to communicate with audience of this size and deliver to them quite complex information. Even though I have read his books before I went to his retreat, have done his work and was doing his meditations daily, it never even occurred to me to check more about him. What I mean by that, when I was there and I saw how energetic he is, I become curious, what's his age? And he is, if I'm not mistaken now, he's 62 years old. I mean, whatever you are doing, it's good. Me, at this age, I want to be able to do that, what he's doing. Meaning, it works. Like seeing his level of energy, seeing his presence, his unshakable confidence when he's on the stage and people are walking in and out, in and out, it's like it really impressed me. And the second thing I would like to bring your attention to is his methodology and his way of teaching. Why? Because it's so intelligent. What he does, during his retreats, he makes you to make an agreement with the person next to you to help each other to stay focused. So while he's explaining quite complex anatomy, neurobiology, neuroscience, at any moment he will pause and say, explain it to the person next to you. And then the person next to you also need to explain it to you back. Obviously, because we are humans and we don't like to be bad at something. And when he asks for that to happen, you want to be able to explain it to the person next to you. Like in that way, we are always a little bit kids. And he uses it in your advantage. Why? Because it makes you to put effort into your focus. It forces you to be very attentive and focused on what he's saying. And the meditation, like the core of his teaching, is a focused attention. So while he's explaining to you the anatomy and the science behind his work, he's actually training you to focus by implementing this kind of entertaining exercise between you and the person next to you. And the second thing that he does is after every meditation, he asks 2 questions. One, what have you done good? What was good about this meditation practice? And you have to explain it to the person next to you. And second, if you had the opportunity to do it again, what would you do differently? What would you focus on a little bit more to make this experience even better. And what it does on neurobiological level, it trains your brain, it teaches your brain, like by answering these two questions, you're teaching your brain to find good and to focus on good. It's very easy to focus on what is not working. It's a little bit harder to focus on what is working. Just human brain is designed that way, that we are prone to notice more negativity. It's just the way the brain works. So by asking these two questions during his retreats, during his conferences, he constantly is teaching you, training you to find good, to focus on potential, on possibility, to build evidence that you are capable, that good things are possible, that health is available. And I was so inspired by this methodology that I have implemented also when I am teaching body work to people. Like, what was good during this practice session? What could you do differently to make it even better when you do it next time? So even in the moments when you are not actually doing the meditation, you are still doing the work during his retreats. And the thing is that these two questions we can apply to anything in life. As I mentioned before, I asking these questions to people during the bodywork trainings. But also, for example, when you're going to sleep, ask yourself, what was good today? And train your brain to find it. And sometimes it's not so easy, like life happens. And we must find good in chaos, in messiness. And then ask yourself, if you had the opportunity to live this day again, what would you do differently to make your own experience even better? And what it teaches you is to have more awareness of your habits and your behaviors. But what I can definitely assure you is that if you actually do the work, it's life-changing. And if you are planning to, or maybe contemplating about going to his retreats, let me tell you 3 things that you could do before to make your experience there even better. And thing number 1, read his books. I know it may seem like an obvious thing, but you would be surprised how many people actually hadn't read any of his books in this retreat. And if you are wondering from which book to start, I often get this question about Joe Dispenza, then I would recommend you to start with Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And after that, read Becoming Supernatural, and then read You Are the Placebo. So I really would start with Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. The second things, do his meditations. So every book has different meditations, and it's very easy to just read the book without doing the actual work. Because inside of the book there are journaling questions and there are meditations. Joe Dispenza's meditations are not 10 minutes. They are like 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. They are long. So it requires a commitment to the work, to the potential transformation that you would like to have. And I wholeheartedly recommend you to commit to your future self and do the work. Do the journaling practices. Yes, they are lengthy. Do the meditations. Yes, you must carve out the time in your day to do that work. And that will take probably some sacrifice in your schedule. And obviously people like to hear real results. So I have done, for example, the meditations and the work from Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, I have done 3 times. So I have read the book, and the part of inner work and meditations, I have done it for 3 different areas of my life. And one of these areas are social anxiety, which I don't have anymore, but I used to have. And I used to feel very uncomfortable in networking events, in social situations, even when the social situation were between a group of people that I know well, between my acquaintances, my friends. Like the party environment in a way. And by doing his meditations and working on that, I have completely transformed that. And the third thing that I would recommend you to do is to reduce or eliminate completely alcohol and any kind of substances from your life. I would also say reduce sugar intake. And why? Because these things directly affect our brain, our perception, our sensibility, our focus. So I feel to really extract the benefit, like the highest value possible from his meditations, there is no place for alcohol in your life. Me personally, I quit alcohol before I started to do Joe Dispenza's meditation. I don't use alcohol for more than 2 years already. But having the knowledge from osteopathy and physiology, how big impact use or not use of different substances makes on cerebrospinal fluid, that's the main tool that Joe Dispenza is working with. That's the fluid that is in your head. Your brain floats in that fluid and it goes down towards your sacrum via your spinal cord. And then via fascia, it gets distributed all across your body. So the activity of that fluid, the rhythm of that fluid is highly influenced by the lifestyle choices we make. Before you go to his retreat or while you are doing his work, like the work that is in his books, the meditations, try to reduce the intake of whatever substances, alcohol, drugs, and pay attention also to your sugar intake. And to sum up this video, for me, these 3 days with Joe Dispenza, even after reading his books, even after doing his meditations daily, has been absolutely life-changing. There is another thing that I would like to mention what's happening in his retreats. If you're familiar with his work, you know that he often talks about generating and feeling into uplifted emotion. And during the retreat, he's focusing on constantly generating these emotions in different ways. I'm not gonna disclose you how, so you can go experience and amaze and surprise yourself with that. But when the retreat is over and you're going back home into your ordinary life, when you need the reference during his meditations, for example, to connect to that heartfelt, elevated emotion, you will have a reference about it because you have felt it during his retreats. If the question is, would I recommend you to go to his retreats, then I would say listen to that inner calling, listen to your heart, listen to that voice within you. What is it saying to you? And allow yourself to be guided by that voice. If the question is, do I think it was worth the price that I paid? Then the answer is that knowing the value that I got out of it, knowing how it has impacted and changed my life, I would be okay to pay double of what I paid. And I think that pretty much answers all the questions, right? Thank you so much, guys, for being here, for watching, for listening. If you enjoyed this video, if you find it useful, please like, subscribe, and comment. And until the further notice, believe in yourself, love your life, love yourself, and live with joy. I wish you well.